Midnight vinyl cafe, rain against the glass. Old records spinning slowly while the empty taxis pass. Tiny yellow lamplight, coffee growing cold. Every song tonight sounds softer than the ones before. The bartender is humming to a melody I know. Like even the strangers carry sadness they don't show. Still somehow this atmosphere feels warm instead of blue. Like lonely little evenings can become beautiful too. Midnight vinyl cafe, keep the world outside. Let the noise and expectations fade away tonight. One more song, one more dream floating through the dark. Like forgotten constellations waking up inside my heart. The city looks like watercolor underneath the rain. Blurred headlights and reflections stretching down the lane. I used to fear these quiet hours after everyone went home. Now they feel like sacred places where I finally belong. Maybe all this healing happens without dramatic signs. Just little moments teaching us to breathe between the lines. Slow piano, neon glow. No place left, I need to go. Midnight vinyl cafe, thank you for tonight. Forgiving tired hearts like mine, a softer kind of light. And if tomorrow feels too loud, I'll still remember when the music and the rain made me feel alive again. Last train to summer, leaving quietly at 10. Golden reflections sliding past the window again. Everybody looking tired underneath the neon glow. Still the city somehow feels romantic, moving slow. Headphones full of old songs, coffee in my hand. Watching distant apartment lights blur across the land. I used to think escape meant going somewhere far. Now even train rides feel healing the way they are. Last train to summer, carry me tonight. Past the crowded stations and fluorescent white. Somewhere soft and peaceful, somewhere warm and blue. Where the ocean air and music help my heart come through. A girl across beside the window watching buses disappear, thinking maybe loneliness feels softer around here. The radio keeps playing some old familiar tune, and suddenly this heavy heart feels lighter than it should. Maybe every storm eventually becomes a view, something distant glowing softly in a different shade of blue. Maybe all this growing isn't loud or dramatic. Maybe it's just learning how to rest between the panic. Rain fading, night breathing quietly, believing warm lights after rain. Stay a little more, like the peaceful kind of sadness I don't fear anymore. And when tomorrow wakes me back into the race, I'll still remember how tonight felt slow enough for grace. Tiny seaside notebook resting on my knee, filled with little thoughts the ocean gave to me. Every wave arriving sounds like whispered advice, telling me to slow down, breathe once or twice. The cafe by the harbor smells like lemon tea, old wood tables shining underneath the sea breeze. I came here with a heavy heart I couldn't understand. Now the sunset paints forgiveness gently on the sand. Seaside notebook, pages turning slow, holding all the feelings I never learned to show. Maybe not every answer needs to be defined. Maybe some emotions are better left inside the tide. Children chase the seagulls underneath the fading gold. Couples share umbrellas while the evening air turns cold. Everything keeps moving, nothing tries too hard, and somehow that's the reason this whole place feels like art. I write another sentence, then stop to watch the sea, wondering if peace was always waiting here for me. Not in grand achievements, not in being known, but in tiny quiet moments I can fully call my own. Soft horizon, ocean blue, the night slowly coming through. Seaside notebook, stay with me tonight, like a small warm lighthouse in the middle of my mind. And if I lose myself again inside the city noise, I'll remember how the ocean taught my restless heart its voice. Between waves and streetlights, I keep walking slow. Summer air around me, carrying radio glow. Tiny bars and bicycles sleeping by the shore. Everything feels softer than it did before. Maybe growing older means learning how to stay, instead of always searching for another place away. The sea keeps breathing gently underneath the moon, like even broken hearts can find their rhythm too. Between waves and streetlights, I don't feel alone. The city by the ocean somehow feels like home. Warm nights, soft skies, music floating free, and all the little quiet things returning back to me. The cafe near the harbor still plays records after 10. Couples laughing softly while the tide rolls in again. I order one more coffee just to make the evening last, trying not to think too hard about the future or the past. Maybe life was never stories make complete sense. Maybe peace arrives slowly when we finally stop resisting it. So, wind, late night, everything turns silver white. Between waves and streetlights, something inside changed, like all my scattered thoughts finally rearranged. And if tomorrow comes too fast, tonight was still enough. Sometimes healing quietly arrives, disguised as simple stuff.
There's a notebook lying open by the window seat, filled with tiny thoughts and names I'll never meet. Outside people wander through the glowing avenue, while old jazz melodies turn the whole sky blue. The waiter smiles politely as he fills another cup, and somewhere in the distance someone laughs in love. Time moves slow around me like an old cassette, playing little memories I haven't lived yet. Maybe every lonely heart needs somewhere warm to land. So I'll write these summer cafe letters between the sunlight and the rain, little pieces of emotion that I cannot fully explain. Maybe someday someone reads them and feels a little less alone, like hearing soft piano music floating gently through their home. A bicycle goes passing underneath the hanging trees, curtains softly dancing in the warm September breeze. I used to chase the future till my world became too loud. Now I'm learning how to disappear inside the crowd. Tiny conversations drift across the wooden floor, like fragments of a movie I've forgotten before. And even all the silence feels beautiful tonight, wrapped inside the golden glow of faded neon lights. Maybe every restless soul needs somewhere safe to breathe. So I'll write these summer cafe letters while the evening slowly fades, turning quiet little feelings into softly colored pages. Maybe healing isn't magic, maybe it just takes some time, like finding hidden comfort in an old familiar rhyme. And if tomorrow changes everything, at least tonight was real. Sometimes the smallest moments teach the deepest things to feel. I'll keep writing summer cafe letters till the sky turns pale and gold, collecting tiny fragments of the stories never told. Maybe life becomes much lighter when we stop and simply stay, listening to gentle music as the world just slips away. Sunday by the window with the curtains open wide, soft breeze carrying summer from the riverside. Half-read magazines and strawberries on a plate. Nothing important waiting, nothing pressing me today. The neighbor plays piano somewhere far across the hall. Simple little melodies drifting through the walls. I used to fill my weekends trying hard to feel alive. Now I'm learning peaceful moments also help us survive. Sunday by the window, sunlight on the floor. Maybe happiness is smaller than I thought before. Warm tea growing colder, old songs playing has to go. Tiny birds keep dancing on the telephone wire, while the afternoon dissolves in golden quiet fire. Maybe all this stillness isn't emptiness at all. Maybe it's the sound of finally standing still enough to fall into softer breathing, into slower time, into little hidden places where the lonely hearts unwind. No dramatic endings, no grand victory, just one peaceful afternoon, finally finding me. Sunday by the window, evening turning blue. Maybe rest was something I was always meant to choose. And when tomorrow finds me running once again, I'll remember this small silence like an old familiar friend. Apricot sunset falling on the seaside avenue. Everything around me painted softly gold and blue. Tiny candle flickers dancing on the wooden bar, while old pop melodies drift beneath the stars. Someone pours another drink with slow familiar grace. Warm laughter blooming lightly all across the place. Outside scooters disappear into the glowing dark, leaving trails of tiny headlights like floating sparks. Apricot sunset cafe, hold this evening still. Let the tired parts inside me finally grow quiet and healed. No pressure to be somebody, no race I need to win. Just music, light and ocean wind moving softly through my skin. I can hear the distant harbor breathing with the tide, like the whole white city finally softened for the night. Maybe every wandering soul ends up somewhere like this, searching for a tiny moment gentle enough to miss. And somehow in this amber light the world feels less severe, like all the things that frighten me can't really reach me here. Late summer colors fading slowly down, turning ordinary evenings into something profound. Apricot sunset cafe, stay with me a while. Maybe healing starts exactly where the world begins to smile. And if this night eventually slips quietly away, I'll still remember how it felt to simply breathe and stay. Blue bicycle leaning by the flower shop again. Tiny bells and ocean wind drifting through the lane. Barefoot little children drawing sunlight on the street, while cafe doors stay open to the slow relaxing beat. Cloud shadows moving gently over faded painted walls. Everything feels distant from the pressure of it all. I don't need a destination, I don't need a map. Just enough warm sunlight for a little afternoon nap. Maybe freedom isn't far away. Maybe it was hiding in ordinary days. This blue bicycle summer feels like breathing for the first time. Soft songs through the speakers, golden hours moving slowly by. No heavy conversations, no complicated plans, just lazy little daydreams melting softly through my hands. Tiny bookstore by the corner smells like coffee and old rain. Handwritten postcards talking about forgotten trains. Someone starts whistling from a balcony upstairs. And suddenly the whole world feels lighter than my fears. The sky becomes watercolor mixed in orange and blue. Every passing minute feels impossibly new. Maybe happiness was never meant to shout out loud. Maybe it lives quietly somewhere inside the crowd. Slow summer rhythm, open cafe door. Nothing in this moment needs to become more. This blue bicycle summer keeps the loneliness away, turning quiet little evenings into something worth the stay. And if tomorrow rushes in, tonight was still enough. Sometimes tiny peaceful moments are the deepest kind of love.
Morning light spills softly through the window pane. Coffee steam is dancing while the city wakes again. Traffic far below me sounds like waves upon the shore. Yesterday was heavy, but it hurts a little less now. And maybe life is not so far away as all the tired nights inside my head would say. I just wanna stay inside this golden balcony dream, where the clouds move slowly and the whole world feels clean. No need to run fast, no need to explain. Just soft cafe music falling down like rain. Dreaming slowly, golden balcony dream. Stay with me. Stay with me tonight. Sunlight paints the table in a quiet shade of gold. Tiny peaceful moments making busy hearts unfold. The city keeps on rushing, but I let the evening breathe, like the summer air itself is singing over me. Slowly the skyline turns blue. Somehow I think I'll make it through. I just wanna stay inside this golden balcony dream, where the stars hang softly over glowing city streets. One more cup of coffee, one more gentle song. Maybe this small moment was home. All alone. Golden light, stay with me tonight.
Streetlights flicker softly underneath the pouring gold. Summer nights in Seoul never really feel that cold. Old films on a rooftop, blankets on the chairs, music from the cafe slowly floating through the air. Everybody laughing like tomorrow doesn't wait. Tiny sparks of happiness arriving fashionably late. I used to think that peace was somewhere far away. Now it finds me quietly at the ending of the day. And every little second starts to shine when I stop trying to outrun time. We were rooftops in my hearts, glowing underneath the stars. Soft old songs and city lights, turning strangers into art. Nothing perfect, nothing planned, just warm coffee in our hands. Maybe life is beautiful in ways we never understand. Someone's camera flashes near the glowing neon sign. Couples drawing memories they'll keep for years in mind. The wind moves through my hair like pages turning slow. And suddenly this tired heart feels lighter than before. Clouds drift over buildings painted silver by the moon, like the whole world paused itself to breathe a little too. Maybe all this healing doesn't need dramatic change. Maybe peace arrives in small and ordinary ways. Late night conversations, half-finished dreams. Everything feels softer than it used to seem. We were rooftops in my hearts, dancing slowly in the dark, like an old romantic movie, leaving tiny glowing marks. One more song before goodbye, one more warm midsummer sky. Maybe this is all I needed to finally feel alive. Morning train reflection sliding across the rain. Another busy weekday starting up again. But inside this corner cafe, time is moving slow. Warm jazz from the speakers wrapped in amber glow. Laptop screens in quiet sighs, people lost in thought. Everyone pretending they are less tired than they are. Still somehow this atmosphere feels strangely beautiful. Like even lonely moments here can become meaningful. Maybe we're all searching for somewhere soft to land. Coffee, steam and skylines, dreams above the avenue. Tiny glowing windows holding stories no one knew. Maybe all these strangers feel the same way too, trying to find small pieces of something honest and true. Rain begins to shimmer underneath the traffic light, turning every passing car into liquid neon white. A girl beside the counter softly hums along, like the city itself is becoming part of the song. I used to fear the silence, now I let it stay. Sometimes quiet moments understand us best this way. No need for perfect answers, no need to know what's next. Just warm coffee and breathing room inside my chest. And somewhere above the skyline, the clouds begin to part. Maybe healing slowly starts inside an ordinary heart. Coffee, steam and skylines, soft reflections in the rain. Maybe life gets lighter when complicated world still holds something beautiful.
Blue horizon shining through the cafe glass. Summer wind keeps whispering softly as it passes. Salt upon the air, sunlight on my skin. For a little while the noise can't get back in. People come and go like waves across the shore, but somehow I don't feel invisible anymore. The radio is playing some forgotten melody, and every little note feels like it's rescuing me. I was tired of running in circles, trying to become somebody else. Now it's ocean light and coffee, warmth across the sea. Tiny peaceful moments finally reaching me. No heavy expectations, no race left to win. Just goes above the water and quietness within. A paperback beside me with folded weathered pages, filled with dreams from strangers living in different ages. I wonder if they also sat beside a summer coast, trying to hold on to the things they love the most. The sunlight turns to amber as the evening settles down, and golden reflections start dancing through the town. Maybe life was never meant to always move so fast. Maybe happiness appears when you stop chasing the past. And suddenly the silence feels alive, like something gentle helping me survive. Now it's ocean light and coffee, soft music in the air. Tiny drifting daydreams floating everywhere. No pressure on my shoulders, no shadows pulling me. Just waves beyond the balcony and endless summer breeze. Slow heartbeat, warm night, streetlights, moonlight, everything feels softer now. Just ocean light and coffee and a quiet heart at ease. Somewhere between the music and the slowly swaying trees. Maybe I don't need to solve every part of me. Maybe I just needed a place beside the sea.